Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's presentation. I'm excited to share with you our topic, biodiversity and ecosystems in our country. Today, we'll explore the rich variety of life that exists here and how our ecosystems function. We'll also look at the importance of preserving these natural treasures. So, let's get started and discover what makes our environment unique and vital. Let's take a look at the contents of this presentation. We will cover a wide range of topics related to natural vegetation and biodiversity, starting with the introduction, then moving on to the ecosystem, and exploring different types of vegetation such as tropical thorn forests, montane forests, and mangroves. We'll also discuss the variety of wildlife and the importance of conserving these species. Additionally, we'll look into factors responsible for biodiversity, the reasons for species extinction, and the steps taken by the government to protect our natural heritage. Each section is interconnected, helping us understand the rich diversity of our natural world and the importance of preserving it for future generations. Welcome to this part of the presentation where we explore the incredible biodiversity of our country. As you can see, we are home to a vast array of plant and animal life. There are approximately 47,000 different plant species thriving here, showcasing the richness of our natural environment. Among these, about 15,000 are flowering plants, which are not only beautiful but also vital for our ecosystems and agriculture. When it comes to animals, we have around 89,000 species, highlighting the incredible variety of wildlife that depends on our habitats. This diversity is a key part of what makes our country unique and underscores the importance of conserving these natural resources. It ties directly into the overall theme of our presentation, which is about appreciating and protecting our rich natural heritage. Let's talk about natural vegetation. This term refers to plant communities that have grown naturally, without any human help, and have been left undisturbed for a long time. Basically, these are the plants that have developed in an area on their own, reflecting the natural environment. Now, moving on to endemic or indigenous species. These are the species that grow within India and are native to our country. They have evolved here over thousands of years and are an essential part of our natural heritage. On the other hand, we have exotic species. These are plants or animals that originate outside India and have been introduced here, either intentionally or accidentally. Sometimes, these species can adapt well, but they can also pose challenges to native ecosystems. Next, let's understand flora and fauna. Flora simply refers to all the plants of a particular region or period. Think of it as the entire plant life that characterizes a specific area. Fauna, meanwhile, refers to all the animals of that same region or period. Both flora and fauna together form the rich biodiversity of a region, which is crucial for maintaining ecological balance. Connecting all these points, understanding natural vegetation and the distinction between indigenous and exotic species helps us appreciate the diversity and complexity of our ecosystems. It also highlights the importance of conserving our native species and maintaining the health of our environment. Now, let's explore some of the key factors responsible for the diversity we see in flora and fauna across different regions. First, let's consider relief, which essentially refers to the land's surface features. In mountainous, plateau, and plain areas, the types of vegetation vary significantly. For example, plains are typically used for agriculture because the land is flat and suitable for farming. In contrast, mountainous areas tend to develop grasslands and woodlands, which provide shelter to a wide variety of wildlife. Next, soil plays a crucial role in shaping the types of plants that grow in a region. Different soils support different kinds of vegetation. Sandy soils, for instance, are well suited for cacti and thorny plants because they drain well and don't retain much moisture. On the other hand, deltaic soils, those found in river deltas, are rich and support mangrove forests, which are vital for coastal ecosystems. So, in essence, the physical landscape and the type of soil are fundamental factors that create the diverse habitats necessary for the wide range of plant and animal life we observe around the world. Let's take a closer look at how vegetation zones are influenced by temperature. As the table shows, In tropical regions where the temperature stays above 24 degrees C, we find lush, dense vegetation. Moving to the subtropical zone, with temperatures ranging from 17 degrees C to 24 degrees C, the vegetation becomes slightly less dense, but still quite vibrant. In temperate zones, where temperatures are between 7 degrees C and 17 degrees C, vegetation varies more, with deciduous forests and grasslands. Finally, in alpine regions, where temperatures are below 7 degrees C, vegetation is sparse, often limited to hardy grasses and low shrubs. Now, temperature isn't the only factor at play here. The overall character and extent of vegetation depend on humidity and precipitation as well. High rainfall areas, especially those influenced by monsoons, tend to have dense, lush vegetation, which is typical in many parts of India. We also need to consider photoperiod, the effect of sunlight on plant growth. The amount of sunlight varies depending on latitude, altitude, and the season, which in turn influences how plants develop and grow throughout the year. So, in summary, temperature sets the broad zones of vegetation, but humidity, precipitation, and sunlight duration all work together to shape the specific types of vegetation we see across different regions. All these factors are interconnected and crucial for understanding the diversity of plant life in our climate zones. Today, I want to highlight the importance of forests and their vital role in our environment. Van Mahotsav, which is celebrated on June 5th, is a reminder of how crucial it is to plant and protect trees. Forests play a key role in modifying our climate by absorbing carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen, helping us combat climate change. They also provide livelihoods for countless species and human communities who depend on them for food, fuel, and shelter. Another significant benefit is their ability to control soil erosion, which preserves the land and prevents disasters like landslides. Plus, forests offer scenic views that support recreation and boost tourism, contributing to local economies. They are also essential for many industries, providing raw materials like timber and medicinal herbs. Overall, forests are truly the backbone of our ecological balance. Protecting them is not just an environmental duty, but a way to ensure a sustainable future for all of us. Let's talk about ecosystems. An ecosystem is essentially a system that includes all the living organisms, or biotic components, in a particular area, as well as the physical environment, or abiotic components. These elements work together as a unified whole, interacting and depending on each other. Now, within ecosystems, we also have the concept of biomes. These are very large ecosystems found on land, characterized by specific types of vegetation and animal life. Think of a forest, a desert, or a grassland. Each one represents a different biome with unique features. It's important to recognize that human beings are a significant part of these ecosystems. However, our actions, driven by greed and a desire for more resources, have caused serious harm. Overusing resources, cutting down large areas of forests, and hunting animals excessively have pushed many species to the brink of extinction. This highlights a critical point. As we continue to impact ecosystems, we're not just affecting other living organisms, but also risking the balance and health of the entire environment. It's a reminder of the importance of sustainable practices and respecting the delicate harmony within ecosystems. Let's explore the different types of vegetation found in our region. First, we have tropical evergreen forests, which are dense and lush, thriving in areas with high rainfall throughout the year. These forests are rich in biodiversity and are crucial for maintaining ecological balance. Next, tropical thorn forests or scrubs are adapted to drier conditions. They have thorny bushes and scattered trees that can withstand droughts. Moving on, mangrove forests are unique coastal ecosystems found in tidal areas, with tangled roots that help protect against erosion and support marine life. Then, we have tropical deciduous forests, which shed their leaves during dry seasons to conserve water. They're quite widespread and support a variety of wildlife. Finally, montane forests are found at higher elevations. They tend to be cooler and often host different plant species compared to lowland forests. Connecting all these types, It's clear that vegetation varies greatly depending on climate and altitude, and understanding these differences helps us appreciate the diverse ecosystems that sustain life in our region. Tropical evergreen forests are found in regions where the annual rainfall exceeds 200 centimeters, creating a lush, vibrant environment. You'll mainly find these forests along the western slopes of the Western Ghats, in the northeastern states, and on islands like Andaman and Nicobar, as well as Lakshadweep. These areas are characterized by warm temperatures and high humidity throughout the year, which supports the dense and luxuriant vegetation you see here. Some of the key tree species include ebony, mahogany, rosewood, rubber, and cinchona. These are not only important ecologically, but also economically. The trees can grow quite tall, reaching heights of up to 50 meters, which adds to the towering forest canopy. In terms of wildlife, these forests are home to elephants, monkeys, deer, and even the one-horned rhinoceros. They are vital habitats for a diverse array of species, showcasing the rich biodiversity supported by these evergreen forests. Overall, these forests are a perfect example of how climate and geography shape ecosystems, and they play a crucial role in maintaining ecological balance in our country. Tropical deciduous forests, also known as monsoon forests, are quite fascinating. They typically occur in regions that receive between 70 and 200 centimeters of rainfall annually. This rainfall pattern influences the type of vegetation and wildlife you find there. The trees in these forests are quite tall, ranging from about 30 to 45 meters, creating a dense canopy. One of the most interesting features is that these trees shed their leaves at the beginning of summer. This is a natural adaptation to water shortage during the dry season, helping the trees conserve moisture. It's a clever survival strategy that also affects the overall appearance of the forest during different times of the year. When it comes to wildlife, these forests are teeming with diverse animals. You can find majestic lions and tigers, along with deer, elephants, and a variety of colorful birds. Reptiles like lizards and snakes are also common, making this ecosystem quite rich and vibrant. Understanding these forests helps us appreciate their ecological importance and the need to protect such diverse habitats. They are a perfect example of how plants and animals adapt beautifully to their environment. Tropical thorn forests or scrubs are found in areas that receive less than 50 centimeters of rainfall annually, so they are quite dry. These regions are mainly located in Gujarat, Rajasthan, northwestern Punjab, and parts of Madhya Pradesh. Because of the limited rainfall, the trees here have adapted by developing long roots that penetrate deep into the soil to access moisture. You'll also notice that their leaves are typically thick and small, which helps reduce water loss. The wildlife in these areas is quite diverse, including animals like rats, tigers, lions, horses, and camels, all of which are adapted to survive in these arid conditions. When it comes to plant species, acacias, palms, cacti, kikar, and babul are common. These plants are specially adapted to withstand drought and poor soil conditions. Understanding these ecosystems helps us appreciate how life adapts to challenging environments, and they form an important part of our overall biodiversity. Let's take a closer look at the montane forests found in our mountainous regions. These forests are typically located at various altitudes, and their types change as you go higher up the mountains. For example, at altitudes between 1,000 and 2,000 meters, you'll find the wet temperate forests, characterized by trees like oak and chestnut. These trees thrive in slightly warmer, moist conditions. As we move to higher elevations, around 1,500 to 3,000 meters, the forests shift to what we call temperate forests. These are common on the southern slopes of the Himalayas and in northeast India, and they feature trees like pines, deodars, silver firs, and cedars. Above 3,600 meters, the environment becomes much colder and harsher, leading to alpine vegetation. Here, trees like silver firs and pines are adapted to survive in these extreme conditions, often with stunted growth or as part of the alpine shrublands. These forests are primarily found in areas such as Jammu Kashmir, Uttarakhand, and Arunachal Pradesh. As the temperature decreases with increasing altitude, you'll notice a corresponding change in the vegetation types, reflecting the adaptations of these trees to their environment. Understanding these changes helps us see how climate and altitude influence forest types across the mountains, tying into our overall theme of ecological diversity. Let's talk about mangrove forests, which are also called tidal forests because they are heavily influenced by the tides. These forests have dense roots that are often submerged underwater, providing a unique habitat. In the Ganga-Brahmaputra Delta, you'll find Sundari trees, which are particularly valuable because they provide very durable timber. This type of vegetation is not limited to just one area. The deltas of the Mahanadi, Krishna, Godavari, and Brahmaputra are all covered with mangroves. These forests are incredibly important for wildlife as well. They are home to the Royal Bengal tiger, crocodiles, and various snakes. Overall, mangrove forests play a vital role in maintaining the ecological balance of these delta regions. India has a rich tradition of using medicinal plants, dating back to ancient times. These herbs are an integral part of our healthcare system and culture. For example, sarpagandha is well known for its ability to treat blood pressure issues. Then there's jamun, which is not only delicious but also has digestive benefits, and its seeds are used to help cure diabetes. Neem is another remarkable plant with powerful antibacterial and antibiotic properties, making it a natural remedy for many infections. Tulsi, or holy basil, is often called the queen of herbs because it helps with cough and cold, and the juice from its leaves can even help with earaches. Argan is used to regulate blood pressure, and its leaves are also effective in curing coughs and colds. Lastly, kachnar is helpful in treating asthma and ulcers. These plants highlight how traditional knowledge and natural resources come together to support our health. They remind us of the importance of preserving these ancient remedies as part of our overall approach to wellness. India's wildlife is incredibly diverse, and this table highlights some of the key species and their primary habitats across the country. For instance, elephants are found mainly in Assam, Karnataka, and Kerala, showcasing their wide distribution in various ecosystems. The one-horned rhinoceros is mostly concentrated in Assam and West Bengal, primarily in protected areas like Kaziranga. In the arid regions of Rann of Kutch and Rajasthan, you'll find wild asses and camels, adapted to survive in harsh desert environments. The Gir forest in Gujarat is famous for being the only place where the Asiatic lion still roams in the wild, an icon of conservation success. When it comes to tigers, they are spread across Madhya Pradesh, the Sundarbans of West Bengal, and the Himalayan regions. These areas are crucial tiger habitats and symbolize India's efforts in wildlife preservation. Moving to the northern and high-altitude regions, Ladakh is home to species like the yak, Tibetan antelope, beryl or blue sheep, and the kiang, all adapted to extreme cold and rugged terrains. Overall, India hosts a vast array of fauna, with around 1,200 bird species, 2,500 fish species, and an astonishing 89,000 animal species. This rich biodiversity underscores the importance of conservation efforts across different ecosystems and regions, aligning with our overall theme of protecting India's natural heritage. Let's talk about why conserving different species is so important. Animals, for example, provide us with transportation, meat, and eggs, which are vital resources. Insects might seem small, but they play a huge role in pollinating crops and fruit trees, helping us produce food. Every species in our ecosystem has a specific role, and that makes each one essential. Fish, on the other hand, are a key source of nutritious food for many communities around the world. And plants, of course, are fundamental. They provide food not only for animals, but for humans too. All of these examples highlight how interconnected our survival is with the health of the entire ecosystem. That's why protecting each species isn't just about saving animals or plants. It's about maintaining a balanced and thriving environment for everyone. Let's take a closer look at some of the main reasons behind the extinction of species, both plants and animals. One significant factor is the rapid increase in the exploitation of forest resources, which has accelerated due to industrial advancement. As industries grow, there's a higher demand for wood, minerals, and other forest products, leading to over-harvesting and destruction of natural habitats. Pollution also plays a critical role. Chemical runoff and industrial waste contaminate the environment, making it difficult for many species to survive. These pollutants can disrupt reproductive cycles, poison water sources, and degrade the ecosystems that these species depend on. Another key reason is the clearing of forest land for agriculture and human settlements. When large areas of forests are cleared, wildlife loses its habitat, forcing animals and plants into smaller, fragmented areas, which increases their risk of extinction. Grazing by domestic cattle is also a concern. Overgrazing can damage plant life and disturb the natural balance of ecosystems, adversely affecting native wildlife and their habitats. Lastly, hunting for skins and other products has historically led to the decline of many species. When animals are hunted excessively for commercial purposes, their populations can't recover, pushing them closer to extinction. All these factors are interconnected and highlight how human activities, especially in the context of industrial growth, directly threaten biodiversity. Understanding these reasons helps us see the importance of conservation, efforts to protect our planet's rich variety of life. Now, let's take a closer look at some of the biosphere reserves across India. As you can see, these reserves are spread throughout the country, each representing unique ecosystems and rich biodiversity. For example, the Sundarbans in West Bengal is famous for its mangrove forests and tiger population. Nanda Devi in Uttaranchal protects the Himalayan wilderness, while the Gulf of Mannar in Tamil Nadu is known for its marine biodiversity. Similarly, Nilgiris in Kerala and the Great Nicobar in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands showcase diverse flora and fauna. There are also reserves like Manas in Assam and Simlipal in Odisha that play crucial roles in conservation efforts. These reserves are vital because they serve as protected areas for our wildlife and plant species, contributing to ecological balance. Moving on, let's discuss some of the steps the government has taken to safeguard our natural heritage. So far, 16 biosphere reserves have been established across the country. These reserves are key to protecting our flora and fauna, ensuring sustainable conservation practices. Additionally, financial assistance is provided to various botanical gardens, which helps preserve plant diversity and support research and education. Beyond that, several developmental projects such as Project Tiger and Project Rhino have been launched. These initiatives are targeted at conserving specific endangered species and maintaining their habitats. Furthermore, India has developed a network of 89 national parks and 490 wildlife sanctuaries. These protected areas are crucial for safeguarding our wildlife and maintaining ecological balance. Overall, these efforts reflect the government's commitment to conserving India's rich natural heritage and promoting sustainable development. Let's move on to the question and answer section. First, what is an ecosystem? An ecosystem is a system where plants, animals, humans, and the environment are all interconnected and depend on each other within a specific area. It's like a balanced web of life functioning together. Next, what exactly is a bioreserve? A bioreserve is a special type of ecosystem, often land or coastal areas, recognized by UNESCO's Man and Biosphere program. Its main goal is to conserve biodiversity, which includes plants and animals, while also promoting sustainable development through technology and environmental balance. In India, for example, there are 14 biosphere reserves, such as the Sundarban Biosphere Reserve in West Bengal. Moving on, we often compare flora and fauna, or talk about different types of forests. Flora refers to all the plant life, while fauna means all the animal life. When we talk about tropical evergreen forests, these are lush, dense forests that stay green all year round. Tropical deciduous forests, on the other hand, shed their leaves seasonally. Now, let's discuss vegetation types and how altitude affects them. Natural vegetation grows without human interference. Some common types include tropical evergreen forests, mangroves, and temperate forests like oak and chestnut at higher altitudes. For example, at altitudes between 1,000 and 2,000 meters, we find wet temperate forests with trees like oak and chestnut. At even higher elevations, above 3,600 meters, alpine vegetation appears, featuring silver firs and pines. Why are many plant and animal species endangered in India? Several reasons contribute to this, including rapid deforestation driven by agriculture, expanding human settlements, and industrial growth. Pollution from chemicals and industrial waste also harms marine and land ecosystems. These human activities threaten the habitats of numerous species, pushing them towards endangerment. So, why does India have such a rich diversity of flora and fauna? The key reasons are varied relief and different geological formations, which create diverse climatic conditions across the country. This diversity in climate and landscape allows a wide variety of plants and animals to thrive. Lastly, what factors influence where plants and animals are distributed? Several factors come into play. Climatic conditions like temperature and sunlight are crucial. They determine what kinds of vegetation can grow. The type of soil also matters. Sandy soils support cacti, while deltaic soils support mangroves. Altitude influences vegetation too. Mountains have different plant life than plains. Other factors include land features, such as plains being suitable for agriculture and mountains hosting grasslands and woodlands. Human activities like hunting and grazing also impact species distribution. For instance, temperature ranges dictate vegetation zones: tropical, subtropical, temperate, and alpine, each with characteristic plant types. Understanding these factors helps us appreciate the incredible diversity of life and how it's shaped by the environment.